Hey, let's get straight into this. Broncos 50-14 over the Roosters. Let's have a look. You know, you measure intent by, by what you do in defence. Have a look at this off the kick-off from the Brisbane Broncos, the Michael Maguire era, the first play. Boys, straight away into it. They force the error, and, mate, they're just all over the top of each other. That's when you know a side is on. They were fantastic tonight. Yeah,
they were very dominant, as the score probably indicates. We saw a little bit of this in their in the pre-season challenge, but tonight was the fair income stuff, and it was a Maguire typical team in defence. They were hitting hard, they were wrestling, they won pretty much the ruck, whether it was in attack and defence, and on the back of their two elder statesman halves in Hunt and Reynolds, they were just too good.
Well, you played on a match. Like this side, they look super fit, they're focused, their defensive energy was through the roof. It's his sort of side.
They're very physical, Matty, and that's what you're seeing that from the first kick-off. But with what Fletch was saying, their halves, they just led them around the park and they conserved energy really well, and then when they got the ball, they just run over the top of them, you know. And the Roosters, well, they were pretty dismal, if you ask me.
Yeah, on the flip side, the Broncos were good, but the Roosters were poor. Very poor. There was some very uncharacteristic things I saw from the Chooks tonight. A lot of their big men just weren't even bothered chasing the ball back. They were looking at the ground on chases. They weren't there. They were out of puff.
Well, you were saying, Hindy, there, you said, mate, look at this defensive effort. Like, they were so. But
it was all coming from the inside. It was all coming from the inside.
That's what they've been renowned for, is their defence. Do you know what I mean? For so long, they've played. Well, they've had a lot of attack, but their defence was so good, and that's why they were third on the ladder last year. Do you know what I mean?
They played dumb tonight in a lot of things too. With those, when the Broncos decided they were going to shift on the last, and their playmakers were getting rushed. That was an easy tip on and a spread, which led to 2 tries.
Yeah, people talk about the trials, so don't look into trials. I think you can. You can really. I looked into the trials a fair bit. The Broncos were the best side during the trial through the off-season, leading in the pre-season trials, whereas the Roosters, their trial form against Newcastle was horrendous, and which was almost a preview to this. We're going to see some individual efforts from the Broncos in a second. Firstly, Payne Haas. I mean, the guy's a star anyway. He's been an amazing footballer for quite a while, but I've never seen him so fit. He's playing with emotion I haven't seen him play with before. And tonight, he was just unstoppable.
Well, he only played the 14 games last year, and we talk about them last year falling off a cliff. It had a lot to do with him not being in the side. Now Madge has made... I'll tell you what Madge has done really well. He's put Pat Carrigan up front. I know he was playing lock forward last year, which is a similar sort of position now, but you've got Payne Haas, then you've got Carrigan and vice versa. Oh, it's just setting their rest of their back line up to score tries as we saw tonight.
And all eyes on Reece Walsh. Reece had
beautiful
eyes.
Sexy eyes.
Great eyes.
Yeah. But tonight, like, it took him a little while. They were picking him off fairly early. But the great thing about him tonight was his energy. Blew this opportunity here. But Madge will be over the moon. Like, he was all over the place. His energy was fantastic.
Well, I think coming off a bit of a disrupted season last year, you kind of knew he had to pull out the big guns. He's their marquee player. He's probably the number 1 fullback in the comp. So I think we always knew he had it in him. It was just getting that back again, and it showed tonight that, as you said, they're looking fit, they're looking excited. But how long is that going to last?
Yeah.
No, I'm not putting the mock on them now.
That's a pander.
That's not a pander. No.
They just won by 50.
I know they did.
I know where it's coming from there. I know. Madge has been renowned for this hard training. Like, they're super fit. We're going on about how hard their pre-season was. Buzz has been getting into Madge about the guy spewing and whatever else. But that's where what Hindy's saying is, later in the year, have they cooked themselves too early? And that's something that Madge has been renowned. At the West Tigers, he done it. South Sydney, he done it, where he overtrained the players. So
you're right. You're right. They're gone.
No, they're not gone. But what I'm saying.
Have you ever read the book?
What I'm saying.
Have you ever read the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle?
No.
Don't think about what's going on.
Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
But you read the back.
But it's all about living in the moment.
Yes, yes.
Hey, you mentioned before. I tell you what, like, playmakers as they get older, they get better. But the big thing is holding on physically. But Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds, terrific pairing, and Ezra Mann will come back into that spine. But Benny Hunt you just knew he was going to be a fantastic pickup.
Yeah, well, last year at the Dragons, he was, in fact, the NRL leading try assists. So we know he can play. He's far from a spent force, and I suppose he had something to prove. He didn't overplay his hand tonight because he didn't need to, because the Roosters, there was just holes everywhere. So
it's just a real good foil for Reynolds.
Yeah, and
exactly.
his experience.
And that's the thing with him. Last year, he was one out half, whereas this year he's got the likes of Reynolds around him. He's got Reece Walsh at the back there, so it makes it a lot easier for him. Whereas he can just concentrate on his footy, and whereas last year I reckon at the Sharks he was trying to at St George he was trying to do everything. Where this year he's been able to pick and choose.
Can they win the comp, boys?
Oh, without doubt.
What about the Broncos?